I'm going to be ranking the top 10 best cards right now in NBA 2K23. My team, you guys can let me know in the comment section down below. Who do you guys think are the best cards in the game right now? And of course, let me know what you guys would change about my top 10. But coming in on my number 10 spot is going to be the out of position dark matter, Jimmy Buckets. I think he's really nice at the point guard position. He's 6'7" with a 6'8" wingspan. I do have him as the second best point guard in the game personally, but you could really make an argument that he is the best point guard in the game. It really comes down to preference and kind of what you need from your point guard. But Jimmy's going to be a lockdown defender, 92 block, 98 steal, 98 lateral quickness, 98 perimeter, and a 94 interior defense. And then he's going to have tons of Hall of Fame defensive badges, tons of Hall of Fame playmaking, which is really nice. And offensively, I mean, the card's not an amazing offensive card, but he's got the Trae Young escape. He's got pretty good dunk packages with the quick drops off one, and his jump shot, if you can time it and green it, is really not that bad of a release. So I will say some honorable mentions real quick. Also is going to be cards like dark matter D-Rob. He's going to be off this list. I mean, he's probably number 11. You could even argue number 10. Ricky Davis also not going to be in this top 10, probably like the 12th or 13th best card in the game. And that's pretty much it for like the honorable mentions. There are some cards like, Devin Booker, that's not going to be in this top 10. I think that's pretty much it. Like Jonathan Bender, Purvis Elson, gonna barely leave those cards off. And then I think I have all the forwards, pretty much in this top 10. But at my number 9 spot is gonna be the dark matter Kareem. I'm not like super high on this card as maybe a lot of people are. I think he's a really nice power forward or center. Really depends what position you want to play him at. But he's 7'2" with a 7'5" wingspan. I mean, the card's stats and badges wise is super good. I just don't really like this jump shot too much compared to a lot of the other big man releases in the game that we'll talk about here in a second. But I mean, he can still shoot threes. He's going to be an amazing defender. I do like Kareem in the sense that he is one of the better cards in the game. I'm just saying I do think there are a couple better big men. At the number 8 spot, I feel like you got to give it to the dark matter Bill Russell. I think he's got to be somewhere in the top 10. If you want to have him maybe a little bit lower, like you want to put Kareem over him, or maybe you even want to put Jimmy Butler over him, I think that's fair to say. I just personally think Bill Russell is the best small forward in the game, and he is easily the best defender in my team. He's 6'10" at the 3 with a 7'4" wingspan. Really good player model in game as well. And then defensively, he's got a 98 block, 95 steal, 97 lateral quickness, 96 perimeter, and a 99 interior defense. And then he's got every single Hall of Fame defensive badge. I mean, defensively, the card's maxed out. Like, he's got perfect tendencies, perfect badges, perfect stats. I mean, he's just the best defender in the game. And then offensively, he can still knock down threes. He can dribble the ball in his hands a little bit, and he can even drive to the basket. So all around, I think he's the 8th best card in the game. At the number 7 spot, in my opinion, is the best point guard, which is the dark matter Cade. Now, if you want to if you want to swap him and Jimmy Butler, because you do think Jimmy Butler is better, I think that's definitely fair to say so. I just prefer Cade a little bit more than Jimmy Butler. I don't think there's a huge difference in the cards. I think they're like 1A, 1B. I just personally like Cade a little bit more because he seems a lot taller in game than Jimmy Butler. Jimmy seems like 6'6". Cade seems like 6'8" in game. And I also do think Cade does have a better player model, and front clutches is a huge difference for like going to the rim, because front clutches are basically unblockable. If you guys know how to safe dunk, you just drive to the rim and then hold up on the right stick when you're going for a dunk. So instead of dunking with X, you just hold up on the right stick and you get a safe dunk animation, which is normally front clutches or just some other safe dunk package, so you don't get blocked as much. That's pretty much just a quick little tip if you guys don't know. I'm sure a lot of people do know that, but that's why front clutches are super nice to have on cards, because if you safe dunk and you activate the front clutch, it's going to be really hard to block the card, and that's what makes Cade super valuable at the point guard position. And I do actually like his jump shot a tad bit more than Jimmy Butler. So if you like Jimmy's release more, then yes, I would say Jimmy's probably a better card, but in my opinion, I do like Cade's release a tad bit more. Not a huge difference in my opinion. At the number 6 spot, I think you got to give it to Dikembe. I think he's probably the second or third best big in the game. I do like him a little bit more than Kareem. I just think because of his defense, he's about the same defensively as a card like Kareem. Maybe Kareem's a tad bit better athletically. Maybe you could say he's a little bit better defensively, but I do think Dikembe's jump shot is so much better than Kareem's, and I feel like that's the biggest difference. Even though he's only got a 79 3 ball, no shooting badges in the game, if you give him some pretty good gold ones, you maybe upgrade his speed a little bit, you give him a higher 3 ball with a coach and a shoe boost. I mean, this card can knock down threes at a way higher level, so I think all around, Dikembe is the 6th best card. At the number 5 spot, I'm gonna go Kristaps. Now, I think Kristaps and Dikembe is really a 50-50. You guys can let me know who you would take between between Kristaps and Dikembe. I keep going back and forth of who I do think is better. I think Dikembe is better at the 5, but then I think Kristaps is better at the 4. I don't think it's that big of a difference between the two cards at center, where I do feel like Kristaps is a decent amount better than Dikembe at that power 4 position. So it's really close. Sometimes, you know, maybe I think when Dikembe first dropped, I did think he was better than Kristaps, but now, I mean, it's really close. Like, I don't think either of these cards are necessarily that much better than each other. I just think Kristaps has that like a little bit of edge right now. He's a great 7'3" card, has a great jump shot, tons of Hall of Fame shooting badges, 95 3 ball. I mean, there's not much else you'd want from this card. I mean, you can upgrade his defensive stats. He's got some pretty good badges on Hoff for defense, and then you want to upgrade his speed, his acceleration, just to make him faster on the defensive end and running the floor as well. So for me personally, I do think Kristaps is the 5th best card in the game. At the number 4 spot, you got to give it to Taco Fall. I think these top 4 cards in the game, at least in my eyes, are the top 4 cards in the game. You can rank them however you want to, but I think these 4 kind of separate themselves from the last 6 cards. Not saying the last 6 are bad. They're obviously some of the best cards in the game. I just think these next 4 cards are on just that next level up. Starting off here with Taco. I mean, he's 7'6" at the power 4 position, 8'2" wingspan, one of the best player models in the game. I mean, is there much else to go over? I mean, the 64 speed and the 64 acceleration feels like an 80-85 speed in game. I mean, the card's not slow at all. Maybe in the pick and roll he's a tad bit slow, and if you play against a lot of cards that have, like, you know, Shaq level speed, you know, even like a D-Rob level speed, cards that have 90 plus speed, you might get cooked a little bit here and there. But for what this card can do on the offensive end to those type of cards that are a little bit faster, I mean, he's going to be one of the best paint mashers in the game and one of the best interior defenders. But at the number 3 spot, it might seem super low, but I do think it's going to be Dark Matter T-Mac, an amazing, perfect, basically 6'8" shooting guard with a 7'2" wingspan. Now, you guys can probably guess who's going to be at number 2 and who's going to be at number 1, but I do think, I mean, his jump shot is really good. I wish it was maybe on very quick timing so it was a little bit faster, but he's got great dribble 6, good dunk packages. I mean, I've always said this, he's basically a perfect shooting guard and a perfect card in my team. And then at my number 2 spot, I'm going with the Galaxy Yao Ming. I think he's one of the most, if not the glitchiest card in the game. He's 7'6" with a 7'9" wingspan. We know how just overpowered this Yao Ming card is. I mean, he's been in the game for what, over, I think 2 months now at least, like maybe 2.5 months. I'm pretty sure, or maybe 3 months. Wait, no, has it been 3? No, it hasn't been 3 months. I think it's been like 2.5 months. I mean, the card is just ridiculous. He's one of the most broken cards in my team history, and he'll probably have the most longevity. Him and Tim Thomas will probably be tied at the end of the year around for who had the most longevity, because Tim Thomas was like November the 4th till, I mean, I don't remember exactly when he went out of people's lineups. I think it was like early March or late February. So he had a pretty good run, but I think Yao Ming will eventually pass him as having like the most longevity this year. And then on my number 1 spot, I do think it's the Dark Matter Terry Dischinger. I think him and T-Mac are literally neck and neck, and that's why I said, I mean, especially these 3 cards can really be flipped in any single order, and then Taco Fall as well. He's kind of in that mix, but these top 3 cards, T-Mac, Yao Ming, Terry Dischinger, honestly, I would not be mad if you did this. I would not be mad if you did this potentially when Yao 1, T-Mac 2, and Terry Dischinger 3. I mean, I wouldn't be mad if you had any of these 3 cards in any certain order. That's how close they are. For me personally, I do think it's Terry 1, Yao Ming 2, and then T-Mac 3. I just think Terry Dischinger is a better version of T-Mac because of the dribble 6. He does have the Steve Francis size up, which is so much better than the T-Mac size up, and his jump shot is also a little bit quicker. So if you can time those faster jump shots, it's going to be a better release in my opinion. So all around, very similar cards in the top 3. But yeah, guys, let me know in the comment section down below, what do you guys think about my top 10 cards list, and let me know your guys' top 10 cards in the game, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.